So, hello, I'm Sarah Middleton from the DPC. Welcome to the first in a short series of programmes which will introduce our Digital Preservation Awards finalists, reminding you of their innovative and inspiring work before we reveal the winners this Thursday, World Digital Preservation Day at 12 o'clock UK time. So each episode we're going to look at one of the awards categories in detail and the incredible people and their exciting work which has been selected as the finalists for each. And today we're going to be looking at the International Council on Archives Award for Collaboration and Cooperation. And I'm delighted to be joined today by Anthea Sellers and Kirsty Lingstad.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anthea Sellers. I am the Secretary General for the International Council on Archives, and I'm really pleased this year to be sponsoring the DPC Award for Collaboration and Cooperation.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Lingstad. I'm Head of Digital Library and Deputy Director of Library and University Collections at the University of Edinburgh.
As the sponsor, you're also the Vice Chair of this category. Could you say a little bit about why you felt it was important that the ICA sponsored this award and was involved in the Digital Preservation Awards?
So the International Council on Archives is really pleased to be able to support this year's DPC Awards and to be able to sponsor the Collaboration and Cooperation Award. I think ensuring the preservation of digital data and evidence is important to DPC, and it's also important, an important part of the work that ICA does at the international level. And participating in this year's awards is a way for us to celebrate the amazing work that's being done all over the world. But you know, this work relies oftentimes on collaboration and cooperation, which is why we felt it was so important for us to be able to sponsor this year's Collaboration and Cooperation Award.
Kirsty, could you remind us about the criteria for this awards category? What were the judges looking for when they selected their finalists?
The Award for Collaboration and Cooperation celebrates significant achievement in collaboration across institutional, professional, sectorial and geographical boundaries, which have had a demonstrable and positive impact on digital preservation and the wider sector. It is presented to the group, movement, partnership or initiative that, through shared understanding, a common vision and collaborative effort, the judges believe has had a beneficial impact on digital preservation, and where, through the collaboration, they have truly demonstrated that they are greater than the sum of their parts.
Thank you, and we're going to hear a little bit more about each of the finalists in this awards category now. Would you like to introduce them for us?
Absolutely. So we had 3 finalists this year in the Collaboration and Cooperation category. We had the NDSA Levels of Digital Preservation.
As many of you know, the Levels of Digital Preservation started in 2013, and one of the key hallmarks of the document is the matrix that people use. And in particular, what it allows for any type of organization to do is to identify what needs to happen and provide the technological solution for that preservation action. So it's been widely adopted. What I will show you as well is, because we're in the collaboration group, this here it is by the numbers. We had a crazy amount of responses, and I will tell you, as the chair of the steering group, it was a massive collaboration that was also massively logistically challenging for all of us. Across multiple time zones, multiple organizations, multiple perspectives, including NDSA and non-NDSA members. So it was one of the largest efforts the NDSA has undertaken that expanded beyond its own membership. So we were looking to identify individuals who had the expertise, not just the byproduct of being an NDSA member. Most importantly, what the levels provide is they provide the building blocks for other organizations. The matrix itself has been, downloaded over 800 times. The implementation framework has been downloaded almost 300 times. There's been a wide level of use, if I can quote my colleagues Brian and Shira, and ventriloquize them. We inspire other work. And that's, I think, the nature of collaboration. We're a collaboration of collaborations within the levels. We've started with the revision of the levels, how to implement and assess it, but then also there's other components coming down the road, such as curatorial piece. There's a risk layer, a risk management layer that's under development that can be mapped to economic solutions, really any type of effort. It's all volunteer. This is nobody's job to do it. And it's the means by which we create future collaborations. So this layered approach allows you to provide the means by which preservation can be solved by your organization, not just in general. So I just wanted to underscore that piece. This can be done by anyone.
We had the Dutch Digital Heritage Network.
I'm Jeffrey van der Hoeven, working at the National Library of the Netherlands. But moreover, I'm part of a much wider preservation network, the Dutch Digital Heritage Network, which I will like to speak about. We are really delighted to become a finalist for this award, a very special moment for all of us. And we would like to tell a little bit more about our work so far. I would like to state that awards often go to single people, a team, or a project. And of course, a lot of people can achieve a lot, and even more, like 5 times their own weight, like this end. But still, we are always limited to our own capabilities, as is for organizations as well. Organizations always are limited by capital and time, as also for preservation. So even the better is maybe that we cooperate like a network, and these ends show that they can achieve more than just one end. And I feel like being part of such a network in which we were able to achieve much more than we could do as individual institutions. And that network, that's actually us. A lot of people here that signed an agreement to cooperate in a network for digital heritage and share knowledge and insights and services together to even become more bigger and better in what we do than we would do it alone. So that's us, actually, the Dutch Digital Heritage Network, a network of heritage institutes in the Netherlands, united by diversity, I would say, but with the same challenges to make our digital heritage sustainable, visible, and usable. These 3 all together, actually, because sustainability itself is important, but if nobody could use it or view it, it will be useless. So these 3 parts are actually the foundation for this whole network. And what we do is always linked to these three parts. So we focus on collaborating on sharing services and knowledge. We're funded and initiated by the Dutch Ministry of Education, Culture and Science, but actually it's operated, managed and maintained by the partners themselves. So we're an unorganized network, you could say, decentralized. The power is in the network. We do it ourselves. There's no legal entity stating what we should do or where we can link to. We need to carry it by ourselves. And we do that now almost with 80 organizations distributed over 5 domain-specific nodes, as among the National Library of the Netherlands is one of them. These nodes form the backbone, actually, to empower these smaller heritage organizations within the Netherlands to make sure they can sustain, make visible, and make usable their collections in the digital form. So everyone can participate. It's not only limited to heritage institutions, but also vendors, the creative industry, research institutes, and governmental bodies could take part in it. So the power of the network, I really state that, is that it shows already some key results. In the last couple of years we were operating with shows quite some achievements. For example, a national approach in implementing persistent identifiers, or a cost model that can help you calculate the preservation costs, and also being part of that big picture of digital preservation, as already has been told here at the WEMIS IPRIS. There's also guidance for preservation policies, a national register of archive websites, also working on best practices for social media, research into software archiving and preferred file formats, already told about in the first day. a virtual research environment in cooperation with the Open Preservation Foundation, and a nationwide insight into the state of preservation of digital information stored on volatile media, such as CD-ROMs and floppies. And where would it bring us? Well, we also look into outreach, campaigning a website of Memory of the Netherlands, showing already the finest results of our achievements together. We also have a very interesting knowledge course, a training course set up. We call it Leren Preserveren in Dutch, which is learning to preserve, and already helps a lot of people doing a better job in their organizations.
And then finally, we had the National State Libraries of Australia and their National eDeposit project.
NASLA is a collaboration, for those who don't know, between the National, State and Territory Libraries of Australia. That's 9 in total. And together those 9 libraries built and launched NED, our National eDeposit Service, last year. NED is what I'm here to talk to you about today, albeit very briefly, so I'll share a few slides with you as we go. Okay. So NED was built to collect and preserve every Australian electronic publication, from government reports to romance novels, community newsletters to national newspapers. This is our digital documentary heritage. 1 year after the official launch of NED, over 120,000 publications have been deposited from over 9,500 publishers. So what's so special about NED? Well, consider this. Australia from east to west is wider than the moon. This means our 6 states and 2 territories operate under very different legislation. We're experiencing this right now in Victoria, actually, where I live, as COVID has seen us sectioned off from the rest of the country. So for a long time, the variations in our legal deposit legislation and our capacity to collect digital publications at scale have seen publishers grappling with a very confusing set of instructions about which libraries require which publications in which format. 4 years ago, federal law changed, and NASLA libraries saw a chance to simplify the process by creating one point of deposit for publishers, with publications stored and preserved in one place, but accessible in every corner of the country. NED was designed so that publishers could deposit their publications with metadata and nominate one of 6 access conditions. The item would go into a central repository, but each library would be responsible for the publishers in their state and territory, and each would have the opportunity to enhance metadata. Those changes flow through to all in the system. Preservation actions would be carried out on deposits in one place, the National Library of Australia, with backup copies stored on and off-site. And most impressively, the process would be fully automated and very fast, with some publications available online as soon as 20 minutes after deposit. Right, a simple idea, but an incredibly complex execution. This system had to satisfy 9 sets of legislative and technical requirements while balancing open access principles, copyright law, content security, and protection of commercial viability for publishers. It required a streamlined, scalable, fully automated end-to-end digital preservation process from publisher deposit through to SIP creation and ingest. The bit-level preservation process involves the automated creation of checksums at the point of deposit and their reuse as each item is submitted to the repository, as well as for regular integrity checks and replication of content. So 4 copies are stored on different media in 2 locations. One of the most attractive aspects of NED for publishers is that it safeguards their publications for future generations. And in fact, a big part of the achievement of NED has been in building this trust and cooperation with publishers, the same spirit that is behind our own work as 9 libraries willing to co-manage one national system and to entrust one library, the National Library of Australia, with responsibility for digital preservation, adapting its existing eDeposit system to work with NED. So this is a significant shift in thinking. Of course, the other attraction of NED is the simplicity of the deposit mechanism, which means that publishers are more likely to deposit their works in the first place, and this in turn means a richer digital legacy for Australia. The best bit, it's not a locked up legacy. A large proportion of NED content is freely available online, with more restricted content accessible on site at member libraries as a minimum. With NED up and running, we're now working on major enhancements that can make the deposit process even easier for publishers, especially those who are depositing in bulk. We have plenty more work to do, for sure, but we'll continue to work together to collect and preserve the Australian story for many years to come.
Fabulous. I think you'll all agree that that's another set of tremendous work that has been selected as finalists for the Digital Preservation Awards. You were both involved in that process, weren't you? Was it tough? Were there lots of disagreements, or was it easy? Was it straightforward to do?
So it was quite challenging because each of the projects, I think, in different ways represents the amazing work done in terms of collaboration and cooperation across professions, sectors, and geographic regions. So it wasn't an easy decision. We did make one in the end, but I have to say there was a lot of discussion in our deliberations.
So this was my first time being a judge on the awards, and I've really enjoyed the experience. It's been amazing, and it's been absolutely fascinating to read up and look at so many different projects and speak to so many different people who've done such amazing work within the sector. I think for us and the judges on this particular award, it was really challenging. There were some very different collaborative efforts, different things being delivered, different things being achieved. So we had a really great discussion around about the merits of these different projects that we're presenting for this particular award. And it wasn't an easy decision, but I think we've come to the right decision.
And we're very excited to be able to reveal the winner of this category on Thursday, World Digital Preservation Day, the 5th of November, as I said, at 12 noon UK time. And you can watch that live on the DPC website at dpconline.org/events/digital-preservation-awards. So we'll look forward to seeing you then.